December 14th, 2008, Armageddon. Jeff Hardy wins the WWE Championship. It's difficult to properly find words for the greatness of this moment and what it means for both Jeff Hardy and fans all over the world. This was a moment that transformed a career. A moment that is crucial in transforming a generation of WWE fans and wrestling fans into Jeff Hardy fans. But why is this the case? What made December 14th, 2008 so special? What made Jeff Hardy's win so incredible? Well, that is what I'm here for today, as I bring to you No More Words, the transformation of Jeff Hardy. Jeffrey Nero Hardy was born on August 31st, 1977. During his youth, he established a love for professional wrestling thanks to guys like Hulk Hogan, The Ultimate Warrior, and Shawn Michaels, just to name a few. This led to him and brother Matt beginning their own wrestling promotion called TWF, the Trampoline Wrestling Federation. This, alongside indie gigs, gave a young Jeff Hardy his start in the industry. Jeff would quickly turn to a career in the big time, as Jeff would play the role of jobber to guys like Razor Ramon, who he wrestled on Raw at the age of 16 years old. Wow. Jeff, alongside Matt, were quickly signed to WWF in 1998. Throughout 1999 and 2000, the Hardy Boys established themselves on World Wrestling Federation television in a multitude of ways. From having Michael P.S. Hayes as their manager, to forming the New Brood temporarily, to earning the managerial services of Terry Runnels, Jeff Hardy was beginning to carve out a career for himself in the big leagues. And then the matches against the Dudley Boys and Edge and Christian happened. My word, Jeff quickly developed a reputation as one of the company's most likable, courageous, and unorthodox superstars in the history of the business. As Big Show said himself, they spoke to the youth of that time. The Hardy Boys, they spoke to the youth of the time. You wanted to be cool, you wanted to be like the Hardys, unquote. The stunts which Jeff pulled off through WrestleMania 2000, SummerSlam 2000, and WrestleMania 17 particularly, were nothing short of legendary. I mean, my word, who could ever forget when Jeff Hardy was dangling precariously, holding onto the tag title belts during TLC 2. Then, the rated R superstar, and subject of the transformation of episode 4, Edge, delivered an incredible spear that will live in infamy on Jeff Hardy. After the run with Matt Hardy and Lita in Team Extreme, and a few secondary title wins, Jeff Hardy would take on The Undertaker in a ladder match for the undisputed WWE Championship on the July 1st, 2002 episode of Raw. This match alone transformed Jeff Hardy from a likable, courageous, middle-of-the-card performer to someone that fans could not deny as a future megastar in WWE. On this night, The Undertaker made Jeff Hardy look like the future of the business, and my god, it was something to behold. But just when you thought Jeff Hardy was destined for megastardom, just when you got the feeling that Jeff was on the brink of becoming a single success story in the WWE, Jeff became his own worst enemy. Drug use, refusal to attend rehab, no-showing events, erratic behavior, and another transformation for Jeff, only this one was a huge setback. This one was a detrimental transformation, and quite frankly, about as detrimental as you could get. On April 22nd, 2003, Jeff Hardy was released from WWE, leading Jeff down the rabbit hole of the independents and everyone's favorite promotion, TNA. Jeff Hardy's first run in TNA was hardly that memorable and merely served as a means to keep his wrestling career ticking along despite everything that had come before it. Considering the fall from grace he'd already had, this was, I guess, necessary to keep him ticking along, but nonetheless, hardly anything memorable. In 2006, Jeff Hardy re-signed with the WWE. Jeff realigned with Matt Hardy to continue the legacy of the Hardy Boys. This being said, the only real notable thing that came out of this run was legitimately the Hardy Boys destroying Joey Mercury's face for real on Armageddon 2006. As 2007 came and went, Jeff returned, he began a feud with Triple H, and then he managed to get himself a second wellness policy violation after violating the company's substance abuse and drug testing policies in 2008. This served as a crucial moment in the career of Jeff Hardy. A second wellness policy violation and a 60-day suspension to an ascending superstar. A second time detrimental transformation which could have well derailed yet another promising main event push for Jeff Hardy. But not this time. This time, Jeff fought back from the adversity and transformed into that main event superstar he was always capable of becoming. In the 2008 WWE draft, Jeff got drafted to SmackDown, where he made it his mission to become the WWE Champion, something he'd never done before. At Unforgiven 2008, Jeff Hardy failed in the WWE Championship Scramble match. At both No Mercy and Cyber Sunday, Jeff was defeated by Triple H for the WWE Championship in one-on-one matches. It really did seem as though Jeff could not get over that final hump and achieve his moment. At Survivor Series, Jeff was set to be in yet another WWE Championship match. However, this time he was ambushed in a stairwell by a mystery attacker. That led us in to December 14th, 2008, Armageddon. Jeff Hardy versus Triple H versus Edge for the WWE Championship. The night that transformed Jeff Hardy's career forever. After a fantastic triple threat match, Triple H pedigreed Edge. Then, Jeff Hardy immediately delivered a swanton bomb onto the Ultimate Opportunist, knocking Triple H out of the ring in the process. 1, 2, 3. Jeff Hardy had won the WWE Championship. All the mileage on the body, all the miles on the road, all the painkillers, the challenges, the personal struggles. It was all worth it in this moment. A boy from Cameron, North Carolina, had transformed himself and had been crowned as the champion of the WWE. But as fate would have it, when you get sky high, the only way is downwards. From losing the title to Edge shortly thereafter, to a feud with CM Punk over the Big Gold World Heavyweight Championship, which saw Jeff Hardy taking more and more physical, tough, brutal bumps on his body. Jeff was transforming, but once again, not for good. Jeff yet again developed a reliance upon painkillers to get himself through the pain his body was feeling. From a neck injury to herniated discs in his back and restless legs syndrome, Jeff was going through it in the heart of 2009. And on September 11th, 2009, there was a breaking point. Okay, on September 11th, 2009, Jeff Hardy was arrested on charges of trafficking prescription pills and control of anabolic steroids. With that, Jeff's WWE contract expired. So, what do you do when you're a disgraced pro wrestler in the year of 2009 with a career that's falling apart and you're a shell of your former self? Well, easy answer. You join TNA. For the sake of the video, I won't be detailing Jeff's TNA run. Just know that Jeff served a 10-day jail sentence from October 3rd to October 13th, 2011, along with 30 months of probation and a $100,000 fine as a result of the charges from 2009. After a TNA run that yielded memorable moments like Jeff showing up high at a pay-per-view, a run as Willow the Wisp, the Brother Nero character, a final deletion, and 3 TNA World Heavyweight Championship runs, Jeff's time in Dixie Carter's wannabe WWE came to a close in February of 2017 after negotiations between both sides broke down.
Things are about to be broken! Team Extreme!
Then that happened. Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy made their huge return at WrestleMania 33. A moment that will forever live in wrestling history. A moment that will forever live in the grandeur that is WrestleMania. But most of all, a moment that transformed Jeff Hardy yet again. The Hardy Boys were now back in WWE, and after everything that Jeff had gone through, both personally and professionally, he was now back in the #1 wrestling company in the world, entertaining the masses. But this is WWE, and Jeff Hardy was in a tag team. So, accordingly, this 2017 Hardy Boys run didn't amount to much of anything. Okay, Jeff would suffer a major shoulder injury and miss several months of action. Then the 2018 run for Jeff Hardy, it wasn't that much better. It provided the US title run that is about as unmemorable as it gets, along with a low-key awesome feud with Randy Orton, which gave to us a fantastic Hell in a Cell match at Hell in a Cell 2018. And then Jeff experienced yet another detrimental transformation. After the Hardy Boys won the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, the SmackDown after WrestleMania 35, Jeff Hardy would sustain a serious knee injury and will be forced to miss 6 to 9 months of action. At this stage, Jeff Hardy is 41 years of age, with a body that's been through absolute hell for over 25 years, a career that for all intents and purposes, contrary to what he said, is seemingly just about done for, and not to mention the pre-existing personal dramas Jeff Hardy had gone through. And all of this culminates in 2 additional run-ins with the law. On July 13th, 2009, Jeff Hardy was arrested for public intoxication. Then, on October 3rd, 2019, Jeff was arrested and charged with driving while impaired in Moore Country, North Carolina. Come 2020, Jeff Hardy's wrestling career, it was seemingly over. He seemed done, but not quite yet. Jeff made one more return to WWE in early 2020, and my god, this final transformation has been something. On the May 29th, 2020 episode of SmackDown, WWE ran a hit-and-run arrest angle featuring Jeff Hardy and Elias, whereby Jeff Hardy, less than a year removed from 2 real-life arrests, was arrested on WWE TV, all the while in the midst of an ongoing national conflict involving the police force. If that wasn't enough, WWE had Jeff Hardy throw piss at Sheamus. Okay. Sheamus would call Jeff a junkie over and over and over again for several months. And then Jeff seemingly brought back Willow in a cinematic bar fight with Sheamus. And then we never saw that Willow portrayal face paint really again, specifically. So that happened. Jeff won the Intercontinental title. That's worth noting. But really, that was Jeff's comeback. And now this right here is Jeff Hardy today. This is Jeff Hardy in May of 2021. Fresh off a fat L against Jinder Mahal on WWE Main Event. Keeping in mind, this is the same Jeff Hardy who overcame all that pre-existing adversity to become WWE Champion in a year where WWE's roster was arguably the most stacked it ever was. Keep in mind, it's the same Jeff Hardy who has time after time fought back from personal life struggles and run-ins with the law to pursue greatness on the biggest stage there is for wrestling. This right here, this is what WWE is doing with him nowadays. Honestly, guys, I have no more words. So, with that being said, I asked the question. I'll wrap the video by answering these 2 questions. Well, what makes Jeff Hardy so awesome, and what has made his transformation-filled career so fascinating? So, for Jeff, his willingness to put his body through absolutely anything, that's one thing too. His total uniqueness by way of his look, and most namely his recognizable face paint, all through his natural likability. Jeff Hardy is simply awesome and the embodiment of a fan favorite in professional wrestling. And that is why December 14th, 2008 is so special. Also, that is why September 11th, 2009 is so brutal. And that is the transformation of Jeff Hardy. That is how one courageous daredevil from Raleigh, North Carolina went from this to this to this to this and finally to this. These 5 moments tell the tale of a tumultuous career, from a quiet risk taker to a beloved daredevil to then hitting rock bottom, then coming back in the grandest way imaginable and ultimately winding up lost in that home without a rhyme, reason or direction. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. This has been No More Words, the transformation of Jeff Hardy. Thank you.